Up here in the top right in the red, the Zerg player is down 0-1. He is
Ragnarok.
Currently teamless.
Yeah. Looking a bit sad, actually. Almost as if he's already defeated. Talking himself a bit. His opponent down to the bottom left took an early loss, but
MVP Billowy
is looking strong in this series. His plans for Nimbus didn't work out last time, but they worked out this time.
Yeah. So I would not be surprised if he actually just goes aggressive on that third base. He saw Deer make it work against him once. Of course, it was a different map, but we've seen players go for that kind of timing. Various timings on that third base on this map. So would not be surprised, especially with Billy's style.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. There's just like an aggressive attack. Could even go for like a 4-gateway pressure timing, like San style, on this map. I think Billy being up a game in the series, knowing that his map pick is the next map pick, might just be like, yeah, I'll just kill you. And if I lose, I'll go Deadwing and hope for close spawns. Because I'm Billy and I'll get it. I'll get what I want. Well, drone over here, just doing some harassment on the mining. Sees that it's one gas. Sometimes does lead to those early gateway pressures because you have a lot of extra minerals to make the gates. Core goes down. He's only mining from one probe in the gas, so he really wants to get the Nexus up ASAP.
Yeah. And we're going to see double hats before pool here.
Not a bad choice, all things considered. He needs to be careful about how he transitions. Needs to get some army units out pretty quick once his spawning pool's up. Looks like this drone's going to try to block the Nexus. Oh, okay. He's going to be disappointed, but he's going to block it. So low on hit points already that can't actually fight this probe, even 1v1. Delays for a little while.
1v1 me now.
Yeah, 1v1, fight me.
No items.
Final destination.
Yeah.
Fox versus Fox.
Versus Fox.
I'm actually really excited for the new Smash Brothers, man.
Yeah, man, me too.
Which character are you looking most forward to playing?
Pikachu.
Pikachu? Is that the only character you're going to play?
I was always the guy, and I did this as well when I went to Doa's house a bunch of times where I just basically only played Pikachu.
Yeah.
Because that's all I used to do, you know? I was that annoying little brother. I used to play with my older brothers and only play Pikachu, and they would just rage at me all the time.
And always, like, the thunder! You just, like, press thunder a million times and hoped you hit everybody?
Down B, man.
Yeah, you were that guy.
I basically just YOLO, just jump over them and just do a bunch of down Bs.
I'm a Nest guy, so I'm actually I'm getting a lot of stress these days because the release is getting closer and closer, and Nest still hasn't been revealed, man.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm obviously, like, everyone was a Marth main at one point in time, myself included, but, like, Marth's still in the game, and they got Lucina now, so that's really, I'm really, as a Fire Emblem guy, I'm really excited about that, but gotta have my Nest, man. I mean, Nest will probably not be my main if I end up playing competitively, but still just want to have him in there. He's fun to play. He's always been my guy. PK Fire Chain's the sickest.
When that comes out, we should just both practice it.
Yeah, we will.
Take a hold on StarCraft, no Hearthstone, no League of Legends, no anything. Just
Final Fantasy VII. I hope I beat the game before Smash comes out. Metal Gear as well. GTA. Those are the 3 games I'm trying to beat while I also practice StarCraft and Hearthstone. My life is just too many games. Brendan, what do I do? It's too hard. Oracle opening here.
So not that gateway pressure we were expecting. Just favoring the air units these days, it seems.
Will Ling get away? Will he? Oh, gets away. His buddy not so lucky.
Ling, yeah. Throwing down the third base. Going to be pretty safe with the Stargate opening here. Especially with the double hatch before pool. No crazy Ling speed attacks or anything.
Yeah.
It's just getting finished up now. We're only 1 Ling on the map.
And it goes down. A lot of gas banked up here. Doesn't make any additional oracles. I think we're going to see a Void Ray come out in a second. Let's see how much this oracle can get done. There's going to be a spore at each base, and since they'll all be done by the time the oracle gets there, shouldn't be able to get more than 2 kills on drones, but we'll get some good scouting. Also wants to see the lair timing if possible, so he should loop around the back and see if he can spot that.
Oracle trying to do some work. Doesn't try to get any kills. He knows there's a Spore Crawler and a Queen at every base. Maybe gets 1, 2 total. Rather just get the Revelation down.
Yeah, I think in this case, like keeping the Oracle's hit points alive is more valuable than actually trying to get kills, because he can just scout and do so much more later. You're just going to be able to huck around the side here and escape. Want to see exactly when the lair finishes, it looks like. That's something he's concerned about, so that he knows when he should pop in and try to find tech. Gateways being added to make a wall here. There's that
4 in total.
Yeah, that's a lot of gates. But, nothing that really indicates he's going to do an attack just yet. He's still making probes. He's got the +1. The +2 will come with Blink. But he's gone up to 54 probes, 55, now 56.
Deer did do that high economy Blink with +2 pressure on this map against Dark in the last series. We see him go up to 5 gates, +1, but he's getting charge and Templar Archive, so take back what I was saying. Another gateway goes down.
Yeah, a lot of gates. Could be that Immortal Archon Charge Zealot type of attack that's really good against somebody who's trying to transition into, say, Infestors, or not Infestors, but Infestation Pit Tech, like into Swarm Host, or even try and do some sort of Beetleless aggression. You just hit them with this timing, and it's really hard for them to deal with it. Everything's lining up here. Infestation Pit coming in, and with the +1 for ranged, could definitely be seeing those Swarm Hosts coming out.
Yeah. He's getting that Rotorn. He's going to have it for safety.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, when you have enough roaches to deal with Archons and the Zealots, then you're going to be okay. Goes into Pathogen Glands, though.
And the big swallow roaches. I was actually looking at that bank right as that Rotorn finished up, and I was like, oh no, he's made like a huge amount of Overlords, and he made a gigantic swallow roaches, so...
Interesting. Now a few more gates coming in here. And we'll see if he wants to move across. He's got a Warp Prism on the way, at the very least, to do some harassment. And yeah, starting to move across now. Needs to build up more gas bank before he can really make too many more Archons. The Oracle is still alive, by the way. Can actually do some harassment, do some poking maybe. Maybe even reveal this army so he can chase it, deal with it properly.
Yeah, I think that would be smart. Attack with Lings, pretty ill-fated. Gotta back off. Got too many Archons, too many Zealots.
Yeah, it takes a bad engagement there. And, I mean, the Hive is on the way. This is just kind of a funny game. Like, he only made 3 Infestors. It's just a funny number of Infestors. Okay, now it goes up to 6. That's more reasonable. That's a lot more Fungals. Big warping in the main, nothing there to defend right now at all. Maybe some roaches popping out. Only 1 right now, though.
We saw him pretty weak. Excuse me. We saw him pretty weak against this harassment before, and he's got nothing in the main. He's trying to get some units out. He actually tries to fungal a bunch of Zealots. These roaches that pop out for him, pretty lucky. Going to be able to hold that off, but he's got his units totally out of position. He brings everything back for this, and his 4th base is totally open.
Yeah, totally open. Will be smashed here by these units. And now a Time Warp goes down on these Infestors. It's looking really good for Billowy right now, but a lot more roaches coming down. He may actually have to recall out. He needs to target the base down before he does so if he's going to get out. I think targeting the base would be the right choice. He's actually just going to fight this.
Yeah, he's going for the fight. Really nice force fields, cut off about half of the roaches, and really nice Time Warps as well.
God, beautiful pullback on that Archon from the south that brings it right back in. When he wants to fight here, make sure he can escape underneath the Time Warp, gets the hatchery, gets out, and again, a warping in the main base. That 1 queen is probably going to die, yep. Probably about that. And now it's 3 base versus 3 base. Really good trades here for Billowy. Starts +3. Doesn't want to lose these units, though. It's really important that important to note that he lost that Mothership Core. Probably saved that Immortal if he microed a little bit. Oh, well.
He's just running away, man. He doesn't care.
Main base finally going to be cleaned up.
Yeah, and that Warp Prism is still there.
How many queens does he have?
Well, he's making 1 right now, so maybe he's a little bit low.
Only 2, yeah. He's going to be missing some injects for a while.
Yeah. And there's a follow-up push to this that he's got to get ready for. This Oracle is somehow almost able to focus down an Infestor.
Scary stuff. I don't know if he ran out of energy or what, or if he just got cold feet there at the last second, but did not commit. Warp Prism heading towards the main. He's got a big bank to warp in more Zealots. He's going to, looks like, maybe bring some High Templar with him this time to feed back the Infestors. 4 Zealots only. It's not a massive amount here into the main base. We'll kill the Queen. A lot of Zealots waiting back here, though, and he sees the Hydras now.
Yeah.
And here we go. He's going to go ahead and engage. Great fungal on some of those Archons. They're the real damage dealers here in this army. But they're eventually going to catch up. He can't run away forever. But his army is so big now. 10 more Zealots being warped in. Needs a flank with those. The fungals here are so good, but the Immortals at the back. And he's actually just going to fight with these against Roach reinforcements. He has
really
the better
good
upgrades.
Yeah, he's got the upgrades. The Roaches don't even have 1 armor, so they're doing so much damage to them, especially with the charges. They're able to catch up, and they're not microed, so doing a ton of damage. But this big attack here by Ragnarok, or at least that push out, seemed pretty strong.
I feel like Billowy's in the point where he cannot actually just force a win here. He needs to take a 4th base and transition out of this. Even taking the gold base wouldn't be a bad choice, I feel. Sending a probe, I think, to take the base north of his main instead.
Yeah.
Which, considering his position, I think he could have taken the gold, but his choice. Doesn't really need more minerals than gas at this point in time. Alright, we got a good concave set up here. This is not an engagement that the Ragnarok could take straight up. He's going to have to make it a good engagement. There goes a feedback, and there's just so many Archons here. They get up there, they do all that damage. The Immortals at the back as well. Even when they're locked down, they just do so much damage. And this Zerg army is being microed very well, but there come the storms.
God. The storms are so good. All of those Hydras are so low. One-shotting. Getting one-shotted down by those Archons. And again, a warp in here in the main base. Going right for that Queen. Going to shut down some of those transfuses. He only has 2 Queens now.
Yep, and you know, just like you said earlier, not having any armor, now only having the +1 armor. Even Zealots in the mineral line now. And now he's just moving across, getting closer and closer. If you look at the army supply at the top right, it looks like, wow, he's just got a much better army here, referring to Ragnarok, but it's army composition and the units that he has that are much better.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just so much firepower here with these Archons and the Immortals. Not a place a Roach or a Hydra wants to be, especially with storms going down as well. Few High Templar, or rather few Infested Terrans coming up. He is starting to get kited a bit, and these Archons are getting very low on shields. But look at this, Zealots over the top left, killing a lot of drones, and now into the main base, another attack occurs.
Yeah, this is the one thing Ragnarok has just not been able to deal with the entire game for both of these games. This harass with the Zealots is just doing so much damage.
This base will go down, and the 4th base is up, back at home for Billowy. So Billowy looks like he's pretty much almost taken a victory here. A few swarm hosts are being made because he's starting to realize that, you know, I don't think you have enough AoE. You don't have, you know, enough AoE on the ground, at least for those, you know, he doesn't have any Colossi. There are quite a few Archons and there are storms out, but if he can get a swarm host cut up to like 10, might be able to hold on long enough to actually turn the tides and get back into this game. Not going to be easy though. Especially because he doesn't have the upgrade from the Locust yet either.
Yeah, and he's struggling, man. He barely has any mining in his main base. That 4th base just keeps getting killed. Here comes the Warp Prism once again. He does have the vision this time, so he will know if he does notice it on the minimap.
Yep, running over. But if he runs all of his units over, this again gives another opportunity for Billowy to snipe that building 4th, or even to take a good engagement. Maybe get a flank on these units. Here he comes.
Yeah. He's coming from both sides. He's warping in at the front. Look at all these Archons and the Immortals in the back. Jesus.
He's just gonna create an engagement that's almost impossible for him to lose.
Yeah. Storm's doing a ton of damage over all those Hydras especially. And look at this. All the Swarm hosts being totally cleaned up over there. And the Immortals join over here to kill down all of those Roaches who are super low from the storms. More warpings of Zealots. And this is looking about game, man.
Yep, definitely so. Really well played by Billowy in both games, and unfortunately for Ragnarok, he's out. GG. Trying to find himself in last place, and Billowy will bring us to our 5th PvZ, where he will face Dark in the final match to decide our first player, or our 2nd player in our first group to go to Code S.
Yeah. So funny the way these matches have worked out to give us 5 PvZs and no mirror matchups.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ragnarok looking unhappy, but he'll have his chance next time at the Code A qualifiers. Until then, we won't be seeing him unless he joins a Kespa team coming up, which I think there's a decent chance of. He's obviously a really good player.
And if he's able to make it through Code A qualifiers in the first place, that's so hard to do in the first place. So if he's able to come back next time, maybe he shows us a better Ragnarok.
Sure. I mean, he didn't play badly today either. It was just really tough games he had to play.
Yeah.
So before we go into the final match, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then after that, don't forget, at 6 p.m., just to remind you guys, we'll have some more Code A action coming at you then as well.